Hey there, treasure hunter, and welcome back to Platinum Pursuit. It's Hunted, and today we've got the second in a legendary PlayStation trilogy, Uncharted Among Thieves. As always, this guide will take you from the start to the Platinum in as short amount of time as possible, while avoiding spoilers and allowing you to discover the game on your own. By the end of this guide, we'll have all 100 treasures, the strange relic, and all the speedrun and miscellaneous trophies in between. Now, before we begin, if you enjoy this content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. Your support really helps me continue to put these guides together. Also, if you're looking for a cool new way to track your trophies, head over to www.platpursuit.com and check us out. If you've come to this guide from our Drake's Deception guide, you'll see the Platinum is very similar. The bulk of the guide will be collecting the 101 different treasures scattered throughout the level, with some combat trophies sprinkled in as we earn them. If you want to earn the Plat as quickly as possible, you'll have to play through the game for the first time on Crushing. It's certainly not an easy experience, but a doable one and what I would recommend. Make it all the way through on Crushing and you'll pop all 4 difficulty trophies simultaneously. The combat trophies are unmissable, and most of them just require you to get a number of kills with each weapon, and I'll show you good spots to farm any that you don't get naturally through the first playthrough. And as with the first game, there are no missables, and there is a chapter select in the post-game if you miss any treasures. And with the intro out of the way, we pick up where we left Nathan Drake and begin an exciting new adventure. We are just about ready to get into the game. Before you do so, I would recommend going down to Options, heading into Game, and Photo Mode enable. Turn this on. We're going to need it for a trophy right at the beginning. And then the only thing you really need to know is that we just need to start a new game and obviously select campaign. We've got to play on Crushing if you want to do this in one playthrough. If you don't care about that, you can play on any difficulty and grab the treasures as we go. Go ahead and pick Crushing and we can get into it. All right, here we are at the beginning of Chapter 1 after a wonderful little cinematic and some, intense moments to start the game. You're going to take control of Nathan Drake here. Before you head forward, turn to the right, and you can come around this sort of rock tree area. Again, if you played the first game or you followed my guide or both, in the last one, the treasures are still these shining objects on the ground. This time in the game, though, they're much easier to see, but still they don't have like in-game models or anything like that until you pick them up. So anyway, keep an eye out for those. We'll go ahead and grab this one and keep moving forward. Okay, so from that last treasure, keep moving forward through the train. You'll come out on this side, and if you turn the camera around, there's a dead soldier with a gun on the ground here. Pick this up. First things first, again, similar to the first game, we need to get kills with each of the weapons in the game. This is the 92 FS 9mm, and we need 50 kills with this gun this time around, so go ahead and make sure you use that. And before you move on, there is a treasure right here as well. Alright, so keep moving forward. You're going to have to come to this door and shoot the lock off to get through. Once you do that, stop for a moment and look directly up, and you should see a guard here kind of hiding a little bit of a treasure. All you got to do is shoot it. Oops, I didn't mean to move my camera, but shoot it and it'll fall down, and you can go ahead and grab the third treasure. Okay, so you'll get up to the top of this train car that we're standing on. You'll see you can jump across to the other one. Go ahead and do just that. And once you land down here, before you head through the train, turn around and there's this crate you can drop down onto. And from the crate, drop down again, and there's a treasure here on the ground for you. Okay, so eventually you're going to get to this point where you're kind of shimmying along this yellow pipe, and then you'll climb up into this train car here on the ledge. Before you keep moving forward, if you swing the camera around, you can actually jump up here, come across, and grab the final treasure of the chapter. All right, here we are pretty quickly into Chapter 2. Eventually, you're going to make your way out of this manhole. And before you move forward, turn the camera around, and you can climb over this box, grab the treasure right here. Okay, keep going, and eventually you'll boost Flynn up to grab this ladder, or to kick the ladder down to you, I should say. You're just going to want to climb up, keep going, pretty much as high as you can.
This is the way to the courtyard.
And then if you turn around, oops, across the way, you can make this jump over here.
Well, we're not going this way. Not if you want to keep your skin.
And you can grab the treasure.
There's got to be a shut-off valve around here somewhere.
Alright, once you come up to the door that has the alarm and you have to turn the alarm off, just turn to the right, follow this wall all the way down, and there's a treasure sitting right here. Alright, so eventually you're going to come across another one of these gates with an alarm. From this gate, turn left, head back over this way. And in this flower box right here is another treasure. Alright, so once you get through the gate, if you come up to the same balcony thing that that Flynn is on, you can hop over, take out this guard real quick. Once you do that, you can jump into the fountain. And right here is another treasure. Alright, so eventually you're going to make your way through this area. You'll climb this rope up and then across the wall, and you'll be up here in these little rafters. What you're going to want to do is drop down and just shimmy across on this one. Keep going, and then you'll hop up here. You'll want to jump up to this ledge. Then while you're up here, you can kind of work your way across over to this right here and grab the treasure. Okay, you're going to make your way up to this point. Flynn is going to throw another rope up there for you to use. You use it to wall run, so you can just jump across to it, leap all the way across. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to climb all the way down here. And drop down, keep going. You're going to want to get on this ledge. This ledge will carry you around the side of the building here, like so. And then you're just going to keep going. And once you get above this pipe thing, drop down. And drop down a little bit more. You have to climb all the way down, and now you can grab the treasure. Alright, so you're going to get to this point. You'll see the tower in the distance. Nate'll ask why the lights are still on. Once that happens, you can drop down here. You're going to want to turn this corner. And right here, look up and find a treasure for you to shoot down. It drops down, and then you just follow it, and the treasure is yours. Alright, so after you have a little bit of a cutscene, the guards are going to be alerted to your presence. You're going to spawn in here, make sure you're dodge rolling to get out of their lasers. But what you're going to want to do is turn the camera around, run back this way, and there's a treasure right here for you to grab. Alright, you're going to drop down into the sewer and head down some stairs. When you get down into the stairs, turn the corner, kind of stick to this wall. You jump over the pipe. Keep running, and the treasure will be right here. That's the last one of the chapter. Okay, here we are in chapter 3. Move forward until you find the first explosive. Then once you've done that, you can keep moving forward. Kind of come around to the left. And then you're going to just want to climb this thing there. And should be able to pop that out of the tree and grab it. Keep moving through the level until you come across the first 2 guards. You can take them out quietly and not alert any further guards. So go ahead and do that. One of them will drop an AK. You can pick that up. We don't need kills with this gun in this game. So you don't have to use it, but obviously go ahead and pick it up. And once you take out the second guard over here, You'll see this log. Go ahead and climb up the log, and then drop down into this area, and there is another treasure. Okay, so keep moving through the chapter. You'll come up to this kind of like little climbing section. You'll want to climb up here, and you can see you're meant to climb up this way, but actually if you stay on,
you're going to have to clear the place out before you can arm them.
and head up this way, and up here, back through, all the way at the end is another treasure. Alright, so if you can make your way up here where the guy was up at the top when we took him out, if you can make your way up here, you can actually grab this pistol. It's the West 44. You should remember it if you played the first game. Does a lot of damage. We do need to get some kills with it, so worth grabbing. We need 30 kills with the West in this game, so go ahead and start popping people and get those kills under your belt. All right, so once you kind of clear out the camp, you'll have noticed most likely that there were some shotgun guys. You can pick up the shotgun from this guy. It's the Moss again from the first game. We need kills with this gun again in this one as well. Only 30 though, instead of the 50 like last time.
Enough of this frivolity, kid. Come on.
All right, so once you climb out of the pit with the rope that Sully threw down for you, before you head straight on, if you turn to the right, you can jump across here. And this kind of takes you back towards the start of the area, but if you stop about halfway through right here, there are some handholds for you to grab. There we go. Gonna want to follow this. It's a little bit of a extra windy path. Have to do some jumping. What does he do? Here we go. That was really strange. He kind of like glitched out for a second. Now you can climb up here. Walk across over to this. And then once you're up here, make the jump across. Up. And the treasure is sitting right here. All right, so I kind of forgot to do this. I did this in the last guide too. I forgot to do the photo mode. All you have to do is hit down on the D-pad with photo mode enabled, and you'll obviously enter into photo mode. So do that real quick. Pop the trophy, and if it's just better to come in here and come back to game and turn this back off, so you don't do it accidentally while you're switching weapons or something like that. So anyway, let's continue. All right, so here into Chapter 4, you're going to come up to the camp, take out a few enemies that are still lingering around. Don't go inside the camp yet, or inside the tent. You can run up this way, head around here. Just make sure you don't trigger the cutscene quite yet. Then once you're through here, you can see this big mast of a ship. You look all the way up there in the crow's nest, you can pop that treasure down. It'll drop into here. You just need to go ahead and pick it up. If for some reason you did start the cutscene and you did start the next section, you can still get this treasure. You just have to clear out literally all the enemies again. So try to get it before you do that. If whatever reason you have to do it again, that's fine. But yeah, go ahead and pick that up and we can keep moving. Alright, so keep making your way through the level. Eventually you'll jump into this hole here in the ruins. Once you drop down, turn the camera around and kind of head back this way around the pillar. If you look up here, on the wrist of this statue is another treasure. Knock her down and grab the treasure off the ground. Alright, so immediately after another cutscene, right when you spawn in, if you look up to the left, there is another treasure for you to shoot down, so do that, and this is the final one of Chapter 4. All right, pretty quickly into chapter 5, you'll come across this dead soldier here. He should drop an FAL for you to pick up.
Yes.
Go ahead and grab that. We need a number of kills with this weapon. I personally like it quite a bit. You can zoom in if you tap R3. Pretty good gun. We need 50 kills with this, so make sure you grind those out. And yeah, let's keep moving. All right, so eventually you're going to make your way into this section. So you'll have spent a bunch of time climbing. You'll come out of this building. There'll be like a helicopter above you and everything. Then you'll slide down the pole, take cover behind the car. And after you get to this spot, so from this spot, the enemies ran over yonder. We are instead going to turn this way first. Come over to this manhole. Drop directly down inside of it. And at the bottom on this dirt pile is the only treasure of the chapter. So if you keep moving your way through, you'll kind of come to this area. There's a whole ton of enemies to fight here. Some of the enemies will have this micro 9mm. This is, you should recognize it from the first game, high rate of fire, pretty short range. You need 50 kills in this game with this one, so make sure you use that when you can. Should be pretty quick, but just going to point that out. Let's keep moving.
Oh, that taste. Okay. Right. Great.
All right, so here we are in chapter 6. Right when you start, there's an RPG guy you have to take out. Obviously, you can go ahead, take him out, and pick up the RPG on the ground. We have to get 30 kills with this weapon. You probably won't get it through the campaign, but we'll obviously, be able to grab it at the end. So anyway, use it to good effect, and I almost took out Chloe there, but use it to good effect, and I'll see you in the next section.
Coming at you.
All right, so once you've taken out all of the enemies in this area, I don't know why the music is still going like crazy for me, but once you take out all the enemies in the area, you'll be free to grab some treasure. So from the truck where the RPG guy was in, there's this signpost here, or not signpost, but you know what I mean, utility pole. You can climb up this utility pole, like so. Gotta jump across here, and then, whoops, and then you can go up this way. Keep climbing all the way to the top, and there is a treasure. There it is. Why will it not let me grab it? Do you have to go all the way up the top? Yeah, okay, there we go. Grab the treasure, and we keep moving forward. Okay, after that treasure is grabbed, and you make your way back down from the top of the pole, if you head up this way, you look right up at the top here. Got another treasure hiding in plain sight. Go ahead and grab that. All right, keep moving forward. Eventually, you're going to start climbing this hotel. You'll find yourself on the awning. You have to go in through here, obviously, to continue on. Before you do that, run all the way around the awning, all the way over here, and grab the treasure. All right, keep moving forward. Eventually, you'll find yourself in this room, sort of with the overturned washing machine. You're going to want to take out all the guards in this area. Head out this way. You're going to run up the stairs. Now, if you go through this door, that's how you continue the level. We're going to keep going up the stairs. I guess you could go this way, too. And then once you get to the top, you're going to make a jump all the way across to this. Now, you're going to want to climb inside of it, drop down, and there's treasure right here for you. All right, pretty soon after that last treasure, you're going to make your way into this kitchen area. Take out the enemies, and you're supposed to head over here to jump on this thing. But before you do that, you can vault over the railing. Don't fall off the roof. And then run around this side. You got to go all the way down, and there's another treasure right here. All right, so as you continue your way through the chapter, it's quite a while after our last treasure. You're going to be kind of running through the rooftops and things. You'll come up to this bridge that you need to lower by holding
Sweet.
triangle.
Yeah, tell me about it. The
What is
resistance fighters
happening?
built them to get across the rooftops.
Ah, lucky for us.
Okay, here we go. That was weird. Anyway, drop the bridge, head across, and then in this section, quickly before the enemies get on you, jump up here, drop down, whoops, and then up here is another treasure. All right, you should also have killed a guy with kind of like a grenade launcher thing. If you pick it up, this is the M32 hammer. We need 50 kills with this bad boy in our play of the campaign, so obviously feel free to use it as you see fit.
Incoming!
All right, so here we are in Chapter 7. As soon as the chapter starts, dip into this house on the right before the enemies could kill you, and grab the treasure sitting on the box. All right, after you clear out the enemies and you grab that treasure from back in there, you'll want to come up here, and if you look up top, there is treasure inside this bell. Knock it down, jump into the fountain and grab it. All right, so eventually you're going to enter this area where you have the river. You're trying to cross the river. Before you do, I mean, I guess as you go throughout this area, head up to the top left here. You can actually drop down right here onto this river, or onto this pile of rocks. And then what you're going to want to do is we're making our way over there. So you're going to want to just jump across over to this. Should be able to get up on it. And then slowly forge your way across. And you can grab the treasure sitting right here on the rocks. All right, work your way all the way through the chapter. You're going to come up to these blue doors. There's the temple in the distance. It is very, very important that you grab this treasure before you walk up to the temple. The temple will start a cutscene. You cannot get the treasure. You'll have to play through the whole chapter again. So walk through the doors. Head left.
Cool.
And right here on this cart is the final treasure of the chapter. All right, here we are in Chapter 8. As soon as the chapter starts, turn to the right. And you can head in this room, down the hallway. Climb up this, and there's a treasure at the top. All right, so after you wind up in this pit, and you disable the trap in the area, there is the way out right here. Before you head out of this room, there is a treasure sort of on this mound next to it, so go ahead and grab that. Okay, here we are in chapter number 9. You're going to activate the first light pillar, and then it's going to have you climb up this big old thing. Once you do, you'll make your way over to this mask, and then it'll have you come around and down this way. And what you're going to want to do is follow along the path. Eventually it'll show you that there's a new area to go, but if you just keep following the path, there's a treasure at the end of it. And while you're hanging on this thing, you can kind of rotate around, and if you look up to the left, kind of underneath whatever this thing is, there is a treasure. So go ahead and shoot that down, and then we can make our way all the way across. And make the jump. And then we'll go ahead and pick it up real quick.
We just need to adjust that other reflector.
On my way.
Okay, continue through the level, and eventually you'll reach this room that has sort of like the dangling golden ornaments. I guess they're not dangling, but they're coming down from the ceiling. Before you go forward, turn to the left and kind of follow the outer ring of this area. And right here is the final treasure of Chapter 9. Alright, so pretty early on in Chapter 10, as you're trying to make your way out of this area, you'll take down a sniper guy up here towards the top, and he will drop the dragon sniper. So go ahead and pick that up. We need kills with this weapon again in this game. We need 50 with this one.
I don't
All
think
right,
so.
keep moving forward, and you'll get another interesting weapon. It's like a pistol shotgun, essentially. We don't need a ton of kills with it. I think this is the lowest number of kills you need with a gun. I think it's only 20. That's 50 kills meleeing from behind, so there we go. That is done. Don't have to worry about that later. All right, here we are at the start of Chapter 12. Pretty much as soon as you load in, you'll have this room with all of the enemies around. You can use stealth to take them all out, or I guess you could go loud if you want. Either way, once that's done, head around this corner here. Kind of in the back little space is the first treasure of the area. All right, so keep moving forward. You're going to boost Elena up here, and she'll like find a gun up at the top of this. Before you follow her across the way, climb up this way, and you're going to go up the stairs. Keep going, and then there's a treasure right here at the end.
Got him. I think that's all of them. Got him. I think that's all of them.
All right, and after you finish that shootout, you'll be here on this bridge. Just head across this way, jump back left towards the door that you unlocked, and grab the treasure on the ground. All right, so you're going to ride this big, long cable down to the train yard from up by the Walner Tower. Before you go any further, if you land here, you just head left. And kind of run all the way down here. It's, yeah, right here on the right. All right, so you're going to make your way into the building. Coming through that door there. The treasure we're getting ready to grab is right here. You can see it shimmering. So what you're going to want to do is come up here. You can look at your objective and try to figure out a way to get down there. But eventually, you're going to want to make your way over to this train. Head on over. Before you go to the right, climb up on this, onto the pipe. And you can see we can climb up here. I don't know why he's not grabbing it. There we go. Climb up here, take the bars across. Big jump, and this is the final treasure of the chapter. All right, so here we are at the start of Chapter 13. You're going to want to make your way over, and before you climb up or do anything else, jump inside. Okay, or don't. Hold on. You're going to want to jump inside the train, and then go to the right, and there's a treasure sitting on the ledge right here. All right, on this train car, you're going to come across the M4 for the first time. You can see I kind of already picked it up, but we do need to get kills with this gun in this game as well. We need 50 M4 kills, so again, get to work with that, and we can keep going. All right, so eventually you're going to make your way up to this car. This is really the kind of like the end point of the first enemies. You start sort of up there, and you come down, and there's enemies in this area. So after you clear them out, head through this left window. We can climb on up. You're You're going to want to try not to be seen by the guards as long as you're kind of back a little ways. Then head back to this area and grab another treasure. Alright, so keep moving further along in the section. Eventually you're going to come across to a part where you have to dodge these things that are up on the tracks. You'll kind of see you'll have this coal car here that you have to cross. You can drop down to the side of this car, shimmy your way along. Eventually you'll come over some solid ground to drop down, head into this car, turn to the right, and all the way in the back is the final treasure of the chapter. All right, here we are in chapter 14. You're going to move your way through. It's very similar to the last treasure that we just grabbed. You have to kind of dodge down here to avoid getting killed by the overhead things. You're going to work your way down to this car, drop down. Doesn't want to drop down for some reason. There we go, drop down. Then into the car, I believe, is it to the left? There it is, to the left this time, and you can grab the treasure. All right, so keep moving through the chapter. You're going to pass these, there's 3 green, like, Jeep-looking vehicles. Then you have to shoot the lock off this door. Once you've done that, push into the area, and all the way to the other side, and where is it exactly? There it is, on the ground right here is another treasure. All right, so here we are in chapter number 15. After you kind of climb out of the train again and you do all that stuff, you're going to have a pretty big fight to do here. After the fight, here's a little trick for you. If you can find one of these propane tanks, pick it up, and you move considerably faster carrying the propane tank than you do if you were just walking around. So this thing, if you haven't shot all of them, try to find one, and yeah, so... we have some treasures to get. So this is kind of where you come in from. And then, you take the fight from here. So if you can make your way to here, we can find some treasures. So from the starting position, head over to the left behind this box thing right here. And on the ground is a treasure. All right. And then from this treasure, kind of turn and head left. Stuck on the crate. Gonna kind of want to just head around this train. And when you get about midway through, you can see there's a treasure right up there. Go ahead and shoot that down and grab it. And then from this treasure, the final one of the chapter, you're gonna kind of head this way, kind of straight from where you found that treasure to the corner of this area. Right here along the ledge is the final treasure. All right, here we are at the start of chapter 16. Right at the beginning, go ahead and move forward. Walk by these 2 people to the right, and back towards this bull, around the corner, and the treasure is sitting right here on the ground. All right, keep heading forward. Eventually you come across 2 kids playing whatever you call this game in your where you're from. So you can actually kick the ball back to the kids, but you're going to want to head over to the right side. Climb up this ladder. And from the top of the ladder, come up this way, turn the corner, jump over this wall, and it's in this back. It's in the back corner by this red door. All right, then finally you're gonna come up here, kind of make your way towards the top of the village, and there'll be the couple of kids that are hiding behind the wall, things like that. Don't go onto the deck or whatever that is in front of you. That will end the chapter, so make sure that you come around this way. Kind of head back towards this big tree right here. Around this wall is the last treasure of the area. All right, so here we are in chapter 17. You're going to follow Tenzin very briefly. He's going to set up this rope for you to jump across, so go ahead and do that. And then follow him down the ladder. When you get down here, turn around,
What I was thinking.
head this way, and on the cliff is the treasure. All right, so here we are continuing to follow Tenzin. You're going to come across this camp, and there will be a small cutscene. After that, he'll set up this rope, and what you're going to want to do is jump across to the rope, but instead of following it all the way across, you're going to want to turn and kind of, you have to turn the camera, but also sort of like swing Nathan around. It's a little awkward. It might take you a little while to kind of get him to go in the right direction. I don't know exactly what you're supposed to do to get him to swing this way. It just kind of happens. Okay, there we go. I finally got him around. And now swing and jump, and you'll reach the ledge with the treasure. Go ahead and grab it. All right, so keep moving forward. Tenzin will boost you up a ladder, and then you'll kind of do a little bit of climbing around the area. You'll come across this sort of forgotten camp, or the remnants of this camp, and then come over here, drop down to this ledge. Should be able to, oh, maybe you don't need to work your way. No, you can just drop straight down and then grab the treasure. Okay, so further into the level now, once Nate sort of sets off on his own, you'll have the rocks behind you here, and then there is this big wall you have to climb. Before you do that, kind of head up to this river. If you follow the river down to the fall, look over the falls here, but if you turn to the right, there's a small path you can take. Here at the end of the path is another treasure. Okay, so now we're at the top of that wall. So down there is where the treasure was that we just grabbed. You'll climb up this way, and then you're going to want to make a big leap over here. And before you jump down, make sure you grab the treasure right here. All right, so keep following Tenzin. Once you reunite with him, you're going to make some pretty big jumps, or a big jump from there across to here. And then once you reach this spot, then you can head to the left.
These guys were dropping like flies.
Through this little area, jump all the way across, and this is the last treasure of the chapter. Here we are in chapter 18. A little ways into it, you and Tenzin both will throw a couple of switches to activate these spinning barrel things. And we need to get across to the third barrel. We're going to go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so here we are on the third barrel, and you can see we're supposed to get on over to that ledge. We're going to skip that for right now and kind of climb to the top. And as you rotate all the way around, there is this treasure here, so make sure you grab that. You kind of have to dodge out of the way of the other wood thing. All right, keep moving through, and you'll come to this pretty cool view. You'll see Tenzin down there. And then you're going to want to turn around and jump to this thing all the way onto this clock gear. And then there's this rope to grab. And now you're going to make the jump across to the rope before you swing over. Kind of turn Nate here, and you can snag the treasure as you're swinging. And that is another one for the collection. So once you're down here, you're going to want to grab this treasure that's right here. It's kind of underneath the thing. We have to ride the wheel under the ground. And as we're coming across it, you can grab it. All right, a little bit further on, and after a lot of climbing, you'll like pass through that section and jump across over to this block and ride it down, or not block, but the wheel. You're gonna make your way over to here. You're gonna jump on this wheel to kind of ride it up. Ignore the wheel on the left for now, and just kind of keep moving upwards. You jump right up here. Then you're just gonna climb up on the beam, head over this way, jump across, shimmy over, and then make 2 more jumps to get over this way and grab the treasure. So now, from that treasure that you just grabbed, you can actually make these jumps all the way across over to these support beams, and it'll let you drop down onto the top of the 3rd one. You don't have to go all the way down and back up. So once you're on this rotating gear, you can jump across to this, down to this ledge, and before you head left, you're going to go to the right over to this. Make your jump across the gap, and now it's weird. You can't just grab the treasure for some reason. You have to shoot it out of the eye. I'm not sure why. Go ahead and do that and grab it. And here we are at the end of the chapter, just about. You'll have made it across the gap here. You'll stand on those 2 switches with Tenzin. Heading up over to this ginormous statue, and if you look all the way up at the very top, there's a treasure that you can shoot down. Go ahead and grab it. That's the final one of the chapter.
Hey! Run with your knife! Got you! Took your chair.
All right, so pretty quickly into chapter number 19, you're going to come up here. This is where the turret is. You're going to be sort of moving through this area. Once you clear out the turret, on the ledge is the Desert 5. I'm pretty sure this is the first time we find this in the game. And we do need to get a number of kills, 30 kills with the Desert 5, so go ahead and use this as we can. We'll keep going forward. All right, so once you've cleared out the turret, jump down this way and kind of run towards where you're supposed to go. Obviously, this way is the way forward. Before you do that, turn into this little section, and you can climb onto the roof from here. There's an RPG here for you to grab if you want to go ahead and get a couple of kills with this while we can. But more importantly, there's a treasure sitting right here, so go grab that. All right, keep making your way through the level. Tenzin here is going to open a door for you. Then you're going to climb up 2 ladders and come out this way. Tenzin also closes this, that's why you can't go back down. So you can hop across to this building and then turn to the left and drop down. And there is a treasure here in the corner. All right, then from this treasure, turn around and head this way. Obviously, be careful. There are plenty of enemies to fight in this section. So you're going to make it to here. You can either choose to climb up or just run through the house. Doesn't really matter. But you want to make your way through, back down this way, up into here, and there is a treasure sitting right here, the final one of the chapter. All right, quickly into chapter number 20. Tenzin will open a door down here for you, not this one, but one a little further on. You'll come around this corner. There will be enemies up on the rooftops. After you take out the enemies, head around this corner here, and the treasure is sitting right here. Okay, moving on further, you're going to scramble down this path at one point, use this box for cover to take out some enemies. After you do that, look to the left, and the treasure's right here in the corner. All right, so you're going to make your way across this gap right here. Once you do that, you'll be on this side. As you can see, you can kind of like jump the gap over to this. Before you do that, though, drop down in here, and there's a treasure right here on the ground. Okay, so as you continue making your way through the village, you'll kind of come in from here, and you'll have to kind of meander along. You'll recognize this once you get here. So you can either come up through the hole in the roof right here. You can run up the ladder. Either way, you're just going to want to make your way up to the very top. head over, and obviously we need to keep going this way and so on. We're just going to make a big jump across the gap, and then there's a hole right here we can drop down. Just be wary of the tank, make sure it doesn't destroy you. But there is a treasure right here to grab. All right, welcome to Chapter 22. You're going to start by climbing up the cliff here. Once you get up to the top, take out the enemies in the area, grab a gun or two from them, and after the enemies are cleared out, you're going to head over to this gate. If you look all the way up, there is a treasure for you to shoot down. So do that and grab it. All right, up here in sort of the upper room area, you'll find the SAS sitting on this shelf right here on this little cabinet. Go ahead and grab that. We need to get 50 kills with this weapon as well, so might as well get started. All right, so once you make your way into this area, there'll be enemies all around. You can, take them out. And it's kind of like split into two sections. You'll have this front area, and then you'll have to go across a bridge to the next area. Before you cross over that bridge, come over here. Again, you kind of come in through this way. So you'll be right here. You can drop down here, kind of climb down. Actually, I think you can just drop straight down onto it, yeah. Like that. And then there is a treasure. All right, so after you push this cart across the bridge to protect yourself, you're probably going to want to be quick right now. I took out the enemies on the right side, so I have time to talk. You don't have to, but if you don't, then they will definitely shoot you as you're down here. Anyway, you're going to drop down, and then you're going to climb up the handholds, kind of just jumping your way across. Keep following these all the way around. You should keep going, keep going. You can find a treasure right here. All right, so after a little bit of a climbing section and you see a cutscene, you're going to spawn in right here. Go ahead, head up these stairs. I want to make the jump across and then drop down here. Drop to this, and in this corner is the treasure. All right, so you're going to find your way to a door right here that Elena tells you to go around and unlock. You'll climb up here, using this and everything. Once you get up here, jump across to the wall like normal. Gonna head around this wall. Now you can drop down to here. Once you're on the ground, aim up and shoot out the treasure. And we keep going. All right, so you're going to make your way across this bridge. You can tell by these blue crates what bridge we're crossing. Once you get to the end of this bridge, you can hang down to the right here. You got these handholds to drop down, and there's a treasure down here at the bottom. All right, so after you've cleared out all of the enemies here in this section, from this bridge and across the way, you can head down now. Gotta be careful, make sure you don't jump too far. Your goal obviously is to get across that bridge, but what we need to do first is to grab a treasure. So jump down here and fall down this ladder. And now, yeah, that's fine. We can fall down here. And now, if you come around to the outside, so this jump is a massive jump. You have to do it at the very, very edge of this platform. It's probably going to take you a couple tries. But yeah, your feet almost have to be off the ledge on the screen. It's kind of weird. It is a very, very large jump. So I'm going to see if I can't do it first try. All right, here we go. Off the platform pretty much entirely as you can make the jump. It looks really weird. It looks like you're hovering on air. And then once you've made the jump, and you're on this side, you can drop down once and head over to this little ledge, pull out your pistol. You can see, you can shoot that, which will drop that down. And then we can run down here and pick it up. Okay, so eventually you're going to make it into this room here. You're going to just climb up with Elena to get up here. Once you're in this room, take out all the enemies, and then head to the left. Up this staircase, you can jump across to this one. Then we're going to make a bit of an awkward jump from the staircase up to here. Pull yourself up, and then if you look, you can shoot this down. Jump across. Oh no, it's not up here. It drops all the way down. Okay, so my treasure just kind of glitched out. I couldn't pick it up. I just restarted the checkpoint. I walked out this door. Drake says, hey, follow me. And then I walked back in, restarted the checkpoint, and you just saw me shoot it down again. It's up there now. Very weird. I've never had that happen before. But now we'll just climb back up here. Jump across, and there it is. Go ahead and pick it up. Okay, here we are in chapter 23. You're going to fight some enemies. There will be a cutscene up here at the door with Elena. You'll decide to split up, and then you'll keep moving along. You'll want to run around here, jump across to the rope, and there's treasure right there that you can grab. You can obviously swing over to it if you don't hit it immediately like I did, but go ahead and grab that. Okay, keep moving through the chapter. Eventually you'll come to this area here with some enemies out in the courtyard. Go ahead and take them out. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to head over to these stairs. Climb on up. And then turn around to the left. Make this jump across. And when you're up here, there's a treasure here in the corner. All right, here we are into the next section. You'll kind of like come up to this window and you can peer out over there. There's a ladder right here. Go ahead and take out the enemies in this area and then climb up the ladder. Then you're going to want to head over to this pillar up on top. Right here, if you look upwards, is a treasure for you to shoot down, and you can grab that. All right, so after you clear this big area full of enemies, you'll make your way up here. There's some bricks you can use to jump across here. It might not be entirely obvious, but you just kind of make this jump across over to here. But then once you're inside, before you jump down, if you see there's a treasure up here to grab, so go ahead. Knock that down, then we can get down. Whoa, get down from here. Jump over and grab the treasure.
Over here. There's some sort of animal.
All right, so keep moving. You're gonna make your way here. You just kind of like shimmy across this gap right here, and before you go across the bars, you can drop down onto the roof below you right here. On the corner is another treasure. A little bit further along, you're going to come across to this area. Nate will make some comment about being at the tower, and then you can use the handholds to go upwards. Before you do that, drop down here, jump across to this roof, and then this corner, you can dive down below, and in the statue there is another treasure, so grab that. All right, continue through the level. Just after you do a little bit of some puzzling, you come down this this rope here. You're going to jump across this gap and then head up these stairs. But before you jump the gap to the stairs, if you look all the way straight up, there is a treasure right up here. So go ahead and knock that down and grab it. Okay, so soon after that treasure, you'll reach this area with a whole bunch of enemies to fight. Go ahead and take them down. And before you move on with the quest, if you look up top here, there's actually a treasure for you to shoot down. So you can do that, and then you're going to have to come around behind the statue. Jump up this way. And you should be able to vault over top and grab it. Whoop. Grab it. Nate, please. Okay, that was weird. There we go. Okay, so pretty quickly you're going to reach this area as well. You'll like work your way down this ladder to drop down into this little spot. After you clear out the enemies from the ladder in which you came in on, you can kind of head back into this corner over here. And this is the last treasure of the chapter. Okay, here we are in chapter 24 now. You should probably see the treasure right off the start, right up here in the top right corner. So go ahead, pop that down and grab it. All right, so after a pretty lengthy cutscene, you're going to end up here walking through, having to make some jumps. The very first jump that you do across the way, you want to turn to the left, and there's a treasure sitting right here. All right, so at the other end of the long kind of climbing and jumping section, you're going to come here. You may have already seen the treasure that we're going for as you were climbing through here. But you're going to jump over to the stairs, and before climbing up the stairs, jump this way, and the treasure's right here on the ground. All right, so after you walk into the area, you have a little bit of a cutscene. You're going to spawn right here, and as soon as you move out of this platform, you're going to have to fight some enemies. So once you finish that fight, from this starting platform, you want to turn to the right and head over this way. Look up. There is a treasure for you to shoot down. Now we just got to go grab it. Do by coming up here, jumping across, and the treasure is right here. All right. After you clear out the first resin from the door, you're going to make your way into this section. There's some more resin to shoot. And it actually, if you hit the resin, drops down the treasure, and you can grab that. All right, eventually you're going to make your way into this area. And as soon as you get here, go ahead and drop down. And then once you're down here on the ground, head through this area. All the way to the end, and there is a ledge you can drop down on and grab the treasure. All right, so eventually you're going to make your way here. You'll drop down from this ledge into this river. Follow the river along a little bit here. You're going to head up these stairs, climb up. Run over to this ledge, jump across, and then once more. And now, while you're up here, you can look... Uh-oh. Won't fall. If you look up to the left, there's treasure to shoot down. So go ahead, take that out, jump across, and grab it. Just a little bit further, you'll come to this new area. There'll be this cart here for you and Elena to push out of the way. You'll just want to climb up on it. Oops. Climb onto the cart. Jump across, and before you head up the stairs, come around to the right. Jump over that railing, and then among the roots back here, there should be, I don't remember exactly where it is. There it is. Right here, so go ahead and grab the treasure.
see about that.
All right, here we go. Keep moving forward. You'll eventually enter this room. Now, I'm going to give you a tip just because I think you'll appreciate it. Very, very minor spoilers for this room, just kind of what the encounter is like. But when you come into this room, there will be guardians on this side, and there will be soldiers coming from out here. You can actually make the soldiers in this room spawn infinitely if you don't go near their spawn point. You can run around the entire rest of the room, you can kill all of the guardians, you can kill all of the soldiers, and there will just be contingents of soldiers continually spawning over and over and over again from here. Which is great on, like, easy when we're farming weapon kills and things like that. But when we just want to get moving, that really sucks. So what you kind of have to do is work your way down. I always sort of just come down here with like a power weapon or something and kill the enemies that are coming out of this door, and then you just want to like run into this area, sort of at the top of the stairs. That forces these enemies coming from here to stop spawning, and then you can keep going. So just a little bit of a tip for you there. And then after you are done taking out all the enemies, if you look at this statue or this big lantern in the middle, you can see that there's a treasure up here. So go ahead and pop that and grab it. So keep going, come up to the, obviously the top of the stairs here, and head forward.
The stone's gotta be here somewhere. Let's try heading up.
And then as soon as you get up to like the first flight of stairs here, there is a treasure in the mouth of the statue. Shoot that down, and we've got one more treasure to grab. And then from this treasure, you're going to keep following along the pathway here. We're going to go up a bunch of these staircases.
Come on, we better hurry.
Staircase 1. This is staircase 2. Up staircase 3. When we're up here, there's kind of like this crack in the ground. The treasure is right here behind the crack in, or like kind of this rock. So grab this as the final treasure of the game. Congratulations. And now it's just cleaning everything up. Well, there we have it. That is the game done. Obviously now just a few more things to go ahead and clean up. We'll go and start with the speed runs as we did last time, and then we'll get into cleaning up the like combat related stuff. So I will see you in the next menu for some speed running. All right, here we are back in the main menu. Let's go ahead and start knocking out these speed runs. First chapter we need to do is chapter 3. So come in here. Go over to Borneo, and then you're going to obviously want to play on easy, put the game into practice speedrun mode, and hit speedrun chapter. And very similarly to the last guide to Uncharted 1, make sure you hit new save or new game data so you don't overwrite your chapter selectability here. And then once we get in, pretty much the strategy is to just go, obviously, as fast as possible. Here, let me pause real quick. Go, obviously, as fast as possible. You know, rush enemies. I know you just played on crushing, but easy is so much easier. You're not really going to die unless you get hit by, you know, something massive. So go as fast as you can. Rush at enemies. You can even skip combat if you need to sometimes. And don't forget that you can always restart checkpoint if you die, or if you are taking too long on a section, or you just miss, you know, an area that you're supposed to go. Hit restart checkpoint. It will restart your time back to when you started that checkpoint. So it makes it even easier to get this speedrun trophy done. We have to do Borneo in 6 minutes, 30 seconds. I will skip to the end of that for me, show you my final time, and then we'll move forward.
Just like in Montreal, huh?
You'll never.
All right, there we go. Right at 6 minutes. You definitely need to remember where the bombs are to arm them. That's probably the longest segment of the game, or of the chapter. So if you run into a little bit of trouble, don't hesitate to restart the chapter, or not restart the chapter. Sorry, restart the checkpoint, and run around to grab those. But anyway, that is this one done. Let's go to the next one. All right, go ahead down to chapters, over to chapter 5, Urban Warfare. Again, make sure you're on easy, practice speedrun, and hit speedrun chapter. This one's a little bit more heavy, and again, make sure you're not overwriting the save of the campaign. This one's a little bit more combat focused, so again, just make sure you're rushing down enemies. Try to kill enemies as quickly as you can. If you forget where the path is, don't be afraid to restart your checkpoint, and yeah, I'll see you on the other side. You got 7.5 minutes to do this one, so let's get it done.
That was chivalrous, huh?
Yeah, it's not dead. You just gotta ask for it.
And I made it by the absolute skin of my teeth there. 7:29, nearly 7:30 on the dot. So there we go. Go ahead and grab that one. To be fair, I kind of forgot where to go halfway through, and I thought I was doing decently enough in the combat, but yeah, so anyway, we managed to get it. Hopefully yours was a little less stressful at the end than mine was. Let's go ahead and move to the final speedrun chapter. All right, and for the last one, coming to chapters all the way to chapter 13. It's the first part of the train section. Go ahead and select easy, practice speedrun. Let's go. This time we have 7 minutes. I would say this one's probably the easiest one as far as completing it, like under the time. You're not really time stressed if you're rushing the enemies. So again, just make sure that you're you're constantly moving forward. You're taking fights quickly. Getting in the faces of the enemies. Don't worry too much about trying to take enemies out at long range, especially on easy. And I'll see you at the end.
How's that taste? Sorry, boys. Just needed a punch or two. Thank God.
There we go. So you can see this one was much easier. We had to do it in under 7 minutes. I was just under 5.5. And that is it for the speedrun trophy. So now all we got to do is clean up the random miscellaneous combat trophies, and we're good to go. I'll see you over there. All right, so here we are in Chapter 4. I'm getting ready to do the 10 melee takedowns in a row. It can only really start after the grenade tutorial, because the grenade tutorial requires you to kill enemies with a grenade. So we got one. Now we're just gonna head into the group of soldiers. I mean, you're playing on easy. You really just take no damage. It is pretty insane how little damage you take, especially when you're used to playing crushing. Really, the only guys you have to worry about are the snipers, and make sure you're not, standing too long. But or not the snipers, sorry, the shotgun guys, because the shotgun guys do a decent amount of damage. But we're just gonna keep running around through the guys until we hit 10 in a row. Should be pretty close. I think we're on 8 or 9, right? Uh-oh. Try not to take too much damage. There it goes. All right, so there we are. That was 10 straight. You can see we can do that pretty easily. Now, I am going to go ahead and click restart checkpoint. All right, so now off the checkpoint, now we're going to do the weekend punch kills. And it's very similar to the first game. You just have to hit them with one bullet and then punch. We need 10 in a row and 20 total. I haven't gotten the total ones. I don't know which one will pop first. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. There's like 5 enemies around here. I might start with this guy. All you have to do is walk up to him. Don't get meleeed. Walk up to them, hip fire, make sure they get hit by the bullet, and then punch. That's 3. I don't think that one counted, actually. We might need to do a little bit more.
Damn it! Eat some of that! Children for you.
There's Steel Fist Master, which I believe is the one for getting 20. This is the only time really where you can die, and there's Steel Fist Expert. Okay. So, we ended up getting it done there right at the end. That was both trophies that we needed. And now we can move on to the next bit. So I personally haven't finished the run and gun one yet, so I'm just going to clean that up here because the enemies are easy and it shouldn't take too long. I don't really ever use this during the campaign or during crushing. I just don't think it's effective enough. I'll use it sometimes, but try not to. But anyway, I cleaned that one up pretty quick, and now we can go ahead and finish the rest. Alright, now if you haven't gotten the kill 5 enemies with 1 explosion, which I have not, you can head into chapters. We're going to go over to chapter 12. There's kind of like a tailor-made spot for it. So, of course, easy campaign, hit start.
There's the water tower.
And then immediately after you skip the first cutscene, you can come in here, go to bonuses, go to rewards, weapons, and scroll down. You should be able to find the RPG 7. Go ahead and give yourself this weapon. And then if you look right over the edge, there's a perfect spot. Fire it into all of them. And you get Dynamite Master. Pretty simple and easy.
Gotta find a way up there. There's the water tower.
Right behind you.
Spread out!
Wait here. There's the water. Tower.
Right behind you.
Spread out! Get them all!
Wait here.
Now, for the final trophy that we need, it is Survivor. You can load up Chapter 4 and just kind of go through Chapter 4 and into 5, just making sure that you don't die to any of the enemies. I think that's kind of boring and can be, you know, a little slow. Personally, I just enjoy going to Chapter 25 and going to that one room I warned you about where you can get the enemies to spawn infinitely. We're going to do that on easy and just farm kills until we hit 75, so I'll meet you over in that room. Alright, so once you enter this room, all you really need to do is just stay up here and just kill enemies over and over and over again. The Guardians won't respawn, but these enemies will, so just keep taking them out. You can give yourself whatever weapon you want from the menu. And yeah, just try not to die. You can't restart a checkpoint either, so you have to continue. It is probably best to take out the Guardians first. And if you come in here, by the way, when you give yourself the weapon, like this, it'll give you more ammo. But additionally, you can just pause and it'll immediately come back here, so you don't have to keep clicking through the menu over and over again. So anyway, work on this until you get your 75 kills. Make sure you don't go down by those stairs to keep the enemies flowing. And then we'll be done with the game. That'll be the platinum. Alright, there we go. Survivor done. And the platinum has been earned. Congratulations. If you've been following along, enjoy your shiny new platinum. And that is it for Uncharted 2. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope this guide was useful for you. More treasures this time than the first game. A little bit longer of a game as well. I think this one's even more difficult, definitely, than the first one on Crushing. But I hope that you really enjoyed it. We're going to be doing Uncharted 3 next, so keep your eyes peeled for that if it's not already out. And as I said in the intro, if you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing, sharing with your friends. Visit our website, www.platpursuit.com, if you're looking for a trophy tracking website and an awesome little community. But until next time, enjoy the rest of the game if you're going to go for 100%. And if you're headed to Uncharted 3, click on the link that should be on your screen now, and we can go ahead and get started with that. Until then, see ya.